Hello, this is Chef John from foodwishes.com with German potato dumplings. That's right, I'm going to show you my method for making Kartoffelkloesse, which, by the way, may or may not be how you should actually make them, since I've never been to Germany to try the real thing. But anyway, I do like how these come out, and I think I have the technique down pretty well. Oh, and one quick thing before we start. What looks like bacon on the top is not. All right, that's the bad news. The good news is, for this recipe at least, we're going to use something even better. So with that, let's go ahead and get started by cooking some potatoes, which I'm going to be doing in their skins in some salted water. And by the way, the times I've made these in the past, I've actually roasted the potatoes. But since I was filming this, I decided to use the traditional method, which is to boil them whole like this. And that did not go as well as I'd hoped, as you're about to see. But anyway, I simmered those until they were just tender, as tested with a knife. And I wasn't bothered by what appeared to be a little bit of the skin splitting on top here. But as I pulled these out with a strainer onto a plate, I realized one of the potatoes had pretty much exploded, as in a major catastrophic rupture. And I was thinking maybe I overcooked them. Because look at that. What the heck is that? But I double-checked it again with the knife, and they were actually perfectly cooked. So at this point I was so confused. But I decided to use them anyway, mostly out of stubbornness. And to help calm my nerves, I decided to watch a stick of butter slowly melt over medium heat in a skillet. Oh yeah, that'll relax you. In fact, let's just all stare at that, and just feel our troubles melt away. Alright, that's enough. And then what we're going to do here once our butter melts, but hasn't started turning golden brown yet, is toss in a couple handfuls of cubed bread, either fresh or day-old. And what we'll do is cook those stirring until they turn golden brown and get very crispy, which is going to take us a few minutes. So don't rush these. We're going to want these nice and crunchy. And then once that happens and they look a little something like this, we will turn off the heat. And we will transfer those into a bowl with a slotted spoon. And do not, under any circumstances, throw away that browned butter. All right, we're going to spoon that over our dumplings later. And then what's going to happen with these cubes is we're actually going to use some in the middle of the dumpling, believe it or not. And then the rest we will chop up and use for an incredible crispy topping for our dumplings later. But not before we sample one or two, of course, which in the business we call quality control. All right, so we'll set those aside, and we can move on to peeling our potatoes, assuming that they're cool enough to handle. And because these were boiled, that skin should come off quite easily, which it did on my non-exploded potato. And I went ahead and added that to a bowl, and went back and tried to attempt to peel the other, which actually for its condition worked out pretty well. And despite that catastrophic structural failure, it still seemed pretty dry, which is the whole idea of cooking these in the jackets. Right, the theory is they won't absorb as much water as if you peel them and cut them up. But having said all that, I think I'll go back to baking them. But regardless, once we have our potatoes in the bowl, we'll go ahead and mash them. And for your information, the actual proper way to do these is with a ricer, which you're welcome to use if you have one. And while I do believe that probably does give you a better texture, for the style we're doing, I think mashing them works fine. And then what we'll do once those are mashed is go ahead and season them up with some kosher salt, some freshly ground black pepper, and of course a little bit of cayenne, which I do not believe they use in Germany for anything. But one thing they do use would be a little bit of freshly grated nutmeg. So we'll go ahead and add a little bit of that, followed by 2 large whole eggs. And we'll go ahead and stir and mash that in. And by the way, these potatoes are warm, which I think is the best temperature for mixing all this stuff together. Okay, a little hotter is probably okay, but I don't think we should let the potatoes cool all the way down. Okay, I don't think that's going to work out quite as well. So we'll try to do these when the potatoes are just warm. And then what we'll do once our eggs have been incorporated is go ahead and add the last ingredient, some all-purpose flour. And we'll switch to a wooden spoon, or our hands if you're not working a camera. And we're going to mix that in just until the flour disappears. Okay, I don't want you to get too nervous. But in general, we don't want to overwork the flour here, because theoretically that could make for some rubbery dumplings. And I don't know about you, but the last thing I want my dumplings to be is rubbery. So as soon as that flour disappears, we will stop. And at this point, we're ready to start forming our dumplings. But we're not going to do that until we've brought some salted water to a simmer, because as soon as we form our dumplings, they're going right into that pot. And make sure you add enough salt. All right, just like when we're cooking pasta, that should taste like seawater. And then once that's set, we can go ahead and shape our dumplings like this. All right, we're going to make sure we wet our fingers, because as you know from other videos, damp hands make smooth balls. whether those are meatballs or dumplings or whatever. And then we'll scoop a very generous amount of our mixture into our palm. And we'll go ahead and roll that around until it forms a ball. And then what we're going to do is make a little indentation about halfway down in the middle. And then for no apparent reason, we're going to add 2 or 3 of those crispy cubes into the center. And I'm hoping some of our German friends can explain why. But anyway, once those are placed in, we will go ahead and surround those with our mixture, and then roll that into as smooth and round a ball as we can. At which point, so as not to burn ourselves, we'll go ahead and transfer that onto a large spoon, and use that to lower this into our simmering water, which I think is going to be way safer than trying to drop these in with your hands. And then what we'll do once our dumplings have been transferred in, is wait for those to float to the surface, which is only going to take a minute or two. At which point we're going to cover these, reduce our heat to medium-low, and we will let those simmer gently for 20 minutes. Okay, so check your heat. We don't want these at a rolling boil. And I'm not sure if you have to, but about halfway through I like to uncover them and give them a flip. And I'll go around and tip over each one. And as you can see, these really have puffed up nicely. And then we'll cover those back up and give them another 10 minutes or so. At which point they looked a little something like this. And we can take a slotted spoon and very carefully transfer these to our serving dish. And then while they're still piping hot, we'll go ahead and spoon over our reserved brown butter, as well as copious amounts of our chopped up crispy buttered crumbs, which as I mentioned does look like bacon, which by the way you could totally use if you want. I mean, you are after all the end user of your Kartoffelkloesse. So bacon would be fine, as would some sautéed onions, or maybe even a mushroom sauce. But anyway, I went ahead and finished that off with some freshly snipped chives. And that's it, my German potato dumplings were done. And way, way too hot to eat. But I went in anyway, because I'm a potato fiend, especially anything that resembles mashed potatoes. And when you pair that with brown butter and super crispy buttered breadcrumbs, for me at least, it just doesn't get much better than that. And of course, we also have those golden brown croutons in the middle. And again, I'm not exactly sure why they're there, but I'm sure there's a reason. And while I don't know much about these, I do know the texture improves if you let them sit for about 10 minutes. Okay, they tend to firm up a little bit and have a little more of a dumpling-like texture. So I waited a couple more minutes and plated one up next to some cabbage and sausage and spooned over a little more of that brown butter, because that is some delicious nutty goodness. And then before I went in for another bite, I went ahead and primed my palate with a piece of sausage, which really should have been a German sausage, but it wasn't. It was a piece of andouille, which was lovely nonetheless. And if you're hoping for some kind of complex flavor profile here, this might not be your recipe. Okay, this is as simple and basic as it gets. All right, we're talking pretty much pure potato with just enough egg and flour to hold it together. And right here you can probably see what I was just mentioning, that if you let these sit for a few minutes, they really do firm up and take on more of a dumpling-like texture, but not a dense and doughy texture. All right, many versions are like that. This one's not. Okay, this style is very soft and tender. And while I think these would have been even better had my potatoes been a little drier, I still thought they came out very well. Although I'm really not that objective, since I have a mashed potato fetish, and I've never really had anything like this I didn't like. But anyway, that's it. My take on German potato dumplings. Not only will these make for a new, exciting, and very comforting addition to your potato side dish repertoire, but you will also have a new and very fun word in your vocabulary, which of course would be Kartoffelkloesse. Hold on.
Kartoffelklöße, Kartoffelklöße, Kartoffelklöße.
All right, that was pretty close. But anyway, for those reasons and more, I really do hope you give these a try soon. So head over to foodwishes.com for all the ingredient amounts and more info as usual. And as always, enjoy.